How's it going, everybody? I am Jay Shady, the voice of reason, and I am here to talk about Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 14 review. The episode was called Prey. I had work all day. I'm tired as fuck right now. I cannot wait to go to bed. I'm just going to do this review really fast since I just finished the episode. So let me just talk about this episode. Basically, this whole episode existed in the Woodbury storyline. You didn't have any of the Rick and the prison storyline in it. You had Rick in here for like a little cameo, but besides Rick, you didn't have anybody else from the prison. Basically, Andrea finds out from Milton what the governor's plans are to kill the prison gang, Rick's gang, to fool them into the whole truce and agreement thing they have, and the governor's actually going to kill Rick. Andrea finds this out from Milton, and she decides to go to the prison and tell them about it. She can no longer take any more of the governor, so she finally comes to her full senses, and so Andrea leaves Woodbury. The way she leaves Woodbury, she goes over the wall. She tells Tyrese and his group, well, actually Tyrese and the girl that he's with, Sasha, they're both on watch for Woodbury, and they don't want her to jump over the wall, but she's like, the governor's batshit, you know, he's not who you think he is, and Tyrese lets her go. So she leaves. The governor finds out that she leaves, and he decides to chase her. Meanwhile, you have Tyrese thinking about what Andrea said to him about the governor not being the guy that they think he is, and he's starting to doubt the governor. But the white guy in his group, what the fuck, this guy, I hate this fucking guy. The guy with the son, the white guy with the son, I can't remember his name. This motherfucker has to die before within the end of Season 3. I do not want to see this guy in Season 4. Like, this, like, one-dimensional fucking asshole character. I just hate his face. I hate his look. I hate his character. I hate what he does. I hate how he talks. I fucking hate this guy so much. Such a dick. But yeah, basically the white guy doesn't want to leave Woodbury, but Tyrese does. Eventually, Martinez assigns Tyrese's group to come with them and lock up and capture some walkers because they're going to unleash them on Rick. And Tyrese is all like, this is fucked up. But the white guy's like, we gotta do this. This is right. We're part of Woodbury now. I hate this motherfucker. And then they start fighting and shit. Tyrese and the white guy, but Tyrese stops fighting with him. So basically they contain a bunch of walkers and lock them up in a truck, which they're going to use to kill all of the whole gang that Rick has, all of Rick's people. Basically you had with the storyline with Andrea. Also you had Milton going against the governor now. He's starting to doubt the governor. He's helping out Andrea, and the governor realized that Milton is helping out Andrea, so the governor is no longer on the same page as Milton. They're at odds. The governor realizes what Milton is doing behind his back. So a lot of people, main people in Woodbury's party, in the governor's allegiance, are switching their allegiance from him. They're starting to doubt him. They're starting to work behind his back. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes along, how the governor is going to respond to all this uprising in his own, among his own people. Basically, the governor chased Andrea to some like abandoned building. He corners her in an abandoned building. He's looking, it's dark, she's trying to sneak around. He's got a gun, he's looking for her, telling her to come back. And she finds a door in the building, and she tries to go in the door, and she sees that there's a whole bunch of walkers behind the door. So she's like, fuck this. Then she turns around and she sees that the governor is right behind her. So she goes through the door, closes the door like behind her by the wall, and all the walkers come rushing out after the governor, and it looks like he's cornered and he's done for. This is what she's thinking. She leaves him to be left for, you know, dinner for the walkers. She finally gets to the prison. She sees Rick on watch. He doesn't see her yet. And right from behind her, the governor takes her down and puts his hand over her mouth and tells her to shh. So apparently the walkers didn't get to the governor. Somehow he got out of it. I don't know if they'll go into how he got out of it, but he did, and he captures Andrea, takes her back to Woodbury, and has her in this like torture looking room that he was setting up earlier in the episode. There's like these chains and shit. He's got his like fucking doctor utensils all out, all his doctor instruments, you know, go to work on Andrea and torture her and shit. So yeah, the episode ends with Andrea being tied up in the room and tape across her mouth. And the governor also, what happens is the walkers that were being held captive in the truck that they were gonna release on Rick's gang, the truck and all the walkers were burned alive. So somebody in the group in Woodbury, you know, obviously somebody in Woodbury burned the walkers alive. The governor was first thinking it was Tyrese, but Tyrese was like, "What gasoline are you talking about?" Because Tyrese eventually decides to stick with Woodbury. He decides maybe Andrea was just fucking crazy and we're gonna stay with Woodbury. So the governor realizes it's not Tyrese, and then he's talking to Milton, and you can tell that the governor thinks that it was Milton who was the one that set the walkers afire to try to sabotage the governor's plan to kill all of Rick's people. So yeah, let me know who you think the person was, because they didn't show the face. They just showed like a suit lighting a match and gasoline and burning all the walkers. Do you think it was Milton? Do you think it was Tyrese? Do you think it was somebody else, you know, that it didn't make obvious as to who the suspects were? Do you think it was... Let me know who you think it was. But yeah, so the episode was just the governor chasing after Andrea and capturing her. You know, I didn't expect a lot of action in this episode. I mean, this is the third to last episode. Of course, you're going to save all your action, your whole shootout for the last 2 episodes, and especially your season finale. So if you're expecting a lot of shit to happen in this episode, you know, you don't know the basic, like, rule books of television, you don't know how shows work, you save all your main stuff for the finale. So yeah, I mean, not one of my favorite episodes, although I think the last like 15 minutes definitely picked up in pace and picked up in intensity and had my interest very thoroughly there. But before that, I really wasn't, you know, it was just one of those episodes, the calm before the storm. So it was what it was, but I do think a lot happened in the last 15 minutes, and it's especially exciting to see, you know, Andrea tied up. What the fuck is going to happen? Is he going to kill her? What's going to happen? How is she going to be able to get saved now, you know, because Rick's not going to the prison. They're gonna meet at their little location, the fucking, what is it, the fucking farming location, whatever, the feed seed company, whatever. So yeah, let me know who you think it was that set the walkers on fire. Let me know what you think is gonna happen to Andrea, and I bet you next episode we will get a lot of action. So there you go. It was an enjoyable episode, not one of my favorites, but definitely, you know, very, very entertaining and very suspenseful towards the end. I am Jay Shady, the voice of reason. That is my review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead. Stay tuned for Season 3, Episode 15, next Sunday. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.